Notnerd Podcast, Episode 266, 5-Year Spectacular.
Welcome to the Notnerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Hello there, Mr. Nate. It's always glorious to see you.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, and this week it is our 5-year anniversary of the podcast, and we decided that we were going to try to do video. So if you're listening in your favorite podcast app because you're already subscribed, go to the show notes, go to YouTube, look us up, and you can watch a video version of the podcast this week.
And if you do, you're going to be in for a treat because, Nate, you dressed up for this 5-year anniversary.
I
Congratulations,
did.
by the way. I can see your wonderful tie and your vest, and I'm assuming there's a cummerbund there.
We can't get down that low. There's a couple nice pockets and a couple
Yeah.
buttons at the bottom of my tuxedo t-shirt.
Yes,
Spoiler
well,
alert.
I'm sorry I didn't dress up. I'm wearing just some flannel, but it's cold outside, so
Yes,
one must do
yes,
what
it
one must
is.
do.
Yes. Well, like I said, we are doing a video version of the podcast. The audio version will live as well, but we've been practicing the last couple weeks, and Dave has been spending an incredible amount of time trying to work out some kinks on being able to do a video episode. So we figured we'd give it a shot, and
Yeah, I hope
probably
it turns
won't
out
happen
well.
every episode, but every once in a while we might have to pop one on there.
Yeah. Well, my goal is to have one every time, but, life happens, so who knows?
Yes, yes. Well, as part of our plan for this 5th anniversary podcast, we put out the call to submit some videos
Mm-hmm.
of whatever you want, and we got a nice little variety. But I figured at this point, we'll sprinkle them through the episode, but we would start with our first video.
Hey Nate and Dave, I just want to let you know I've been watching you. I just want to say congratulations as well for hitting 5 years with the Not Nerd Podcast. Keep it up. I look forward to another 5 years.
I'm a little astounded, Nate. It feels like I've seen Marley's ghost.
Yes,
That was the ghost of Steve Jobs.
yes, flying over Apple campus and wishing us well in the podcast. So that was beyond the grave, Steve Jobs.
Well, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And as we always do, it is time to get into some follow-up. Quibi, the huge failure of a video content service. I did see this week, we've talked a lot about Roku and some of their mission into the video world. My TV has a Roku built in. They build into many TV brands. They have their streaming devices. They have some channels. Well, they have purchased all of or the rights to Quibi's content. Now, I did not watch a lot of Quibi content, but I know that there was a lot of celebrities. There was a lot of good TV show ideas. It was more just a failed platform than failed content. So Roku was able to purchase this at the so Quibi, they spent $1.5 billion on getting everything set up, advertising, content, all this. For $100 million,
Wow.
Roku was able to buy the rights to this content. So what a
That's a
steal.
bargain. Pennies on the dollar.
Yes. Yes, definitely half pennies on the dollar. But yeah, so Roku, they're making a push. They're kind of they're not one of the big brands, but they're getting there. And I saw some other stories this week talking about how they're making an impact and they're getting some share just because their devices are everywhere. They're cheap and having more quality content. Hopefully they won't try to do the weird, you can watch it vertical or horizontal. Just
No.
give us the content where we want to watch it. That's what we're looking for, people.
Yeah, and I think Roku is in a great position to posture themselves right up against Netflix and Disney and Apple and all those because now that they have some original
Yes.
content, they can at least compete. So I think this is going to be a start of a trend, and they're going to start creating more content to just have on the Roku. And in the future, you'll just buy a TV. It has the Roku app built in, and you've got your content built in.
Yeah, yeah. We haven't talked about them for a while, but Boston Dynamics is the company that makes crazy robots, and they released a new video of their Atlas robot doing a gymnastics routine. Dave, have you seen this video yet?
I believe I have. It's a little frightening. I did see the one that they also made a while back of the robots dancing. Have you seen this one?
Yes.
Yeah, that was interesting as well. But yeah, I do believe I saw the one with the gymnastics.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive, doing flips and rolls and everything. These robots are going to take over someday with their their abilities. But Boston Dynamics, it is you should really check out the video, and they are doing some pretty amazing things in the robotics world.
Now, we all know what the end goal is, which is robotic world domination. But
Yes.
is Boston Dynamics sharing with the world what their end goal is? Because I'm sure they have like a purpose and a reason. We all know how it's going to go. We're all going to be under subjection of robot overlords. But what do they say they're developing these for? Like, is it military or what?
Well, they're doing a little bit of a couple different things. So the Atlas, this specific one, their tagline, the world's most dynamic humanoid robot, Atlas is a research platform designed to push the limits of whole body mobility. Atlas's advanced control system and state-of-the-art hardware give the robot the power and balance to demonstrate human-level agility. So they're telling us it's for research purposes right now.
You know what would be cool as I'm watching this gymnastics routine here? I can see them like Elon Musk sending one or two of these to Mars with some equipment, because if you have a habitat, an environment designed for people, you're going to need a people-like robot to move into space and operate things. So maybe we'll outfit our outposts with these robots in the future, and then when people are able to come, they just replace them.
Yes.
Usually the robots replace people, but in this case it'd be people replacing the robots.
Yes, there we go. So that's what they're claiming. They have a couple different ones that are more for, I believe, manufacturing and that sort of thing, but this one is impressive. Well, if you've been listening to the podcast since the beginning, you would know that this time of year we are usually all giddy about CES, formerly known as the Consumer Electronics Show. It is still that. They just call it CES now. Well, it is happening this week, but it is all virtual, as you can imagine. And I found an article kind of saying, hey, don't expect a lot out of CES this year. They're just not putting the emphasis. So many people have gotten better at just doing press announcements when they need to, and you're not going to get all the weird stuff because you can't watch 100,000 different Zoom presentations on every product out there. So we'll probably see the latest and greatest TVs and a couple things, but I just don't think, obviously we'll check back in next week, but I don't think that it's going to be quite the news dominator that we typically see.
Yeah,
recently.
it'll probably, a lot of the information, as it usually does, will come out through tech news outlets like Engadget and The Verge. Looking at those websites, it'll probably look the same, but if you're a regular attender, it's going to probably look very different. I mean, it's not as impressive to see a picture of a 120-inch OLED television.
Yes.
It's going to be more impressive to see it there in person.
Yes.
So it's going to be different, but hopefully when all of this is over, you and I will be in a position, we've been saying this for 5 years now, we'll be in a position to go to the actual CES. And so it's still on my bucket list.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, next up, we're going to play the second video that was submitted to us this past week.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you come in. I'm Todd Workoven. You may remember me from such Not Nerd episodes as this one. I was so honored to get your personalized mass text asking people to submit video content for this week's episode. Well, honored and surprised, as podcasts aren't really an inherently visual medium. It seems like just 2 years and 8 months ago, we were all celebrating 100 episodes, and now here you are at episode 266, which frankly is something most podcasts don't dream of, as they would dream for 250 episodes or maybe 300 or some other number that made sense. But thank you guys for 5 years of great entertainment, wonderful pro tips, fantastic segues, and some problematic accents. It's been a great 5 years, and I can't wait for 5 years more. And on behalf of my friend and podcast partner, Mark, thank you for always answering my panicky and angry tech-related texts so that he doesn't have to. Thanks again for 5 years. We'll see you guys later.
What do you mean, troubling accents? Or disturbing, or whatever word you used.
Yes. Thank you, Todd. And you know what's never disturbing? Dave's Pro Tip of the Week.
That's right. And this week, I pulled something out of like the very deep bag. So for all of you budding TikTok content create, I mean, is it content? I guess it's content. I'm not labeling it as good content, but for all of you budding TikTok content creators, or what's another one? YouTube, or what's another one? Parler. Oh, it's not too soon. Too soon for that. I have a tip for you if you are an iPhone user. Now, everyone knows when you create content for social media, you have to use the selfie camera. So you're like doing all this, and maybe at your grandma's funeral, and you want to get her and you in the thing, and you're doing the peace sign. Well, wouldn't it be even cooler if you could do a selfie video? That's cool. What about a slow motion selfie video? On newer iPhone devices and with newer operating system, you can do this. And so many of you may not even have realized it. So you just go into your camera. As you can see here, I've got my camera on. And then you slide over to, you switch to the forward-facing camera. And then you slide over to slow-mo. And just like that, you're in the settings where you can just hit it and do your slow-motion selfie. And you're looking all good. And then when you go into your video and press play, you've got your slow-motion selfie right there. And standard protocols are in place here. You've got, when you go into edit, you've got your in point and you've got your out point. And my personal favorite is to take that in point and out point and just take it clear to the left and clear to the right so that the entire video is in slow motion. But maybe you want to be dramatic and do a selfie with regular motion, and then it snaps into slow motion, and then it snaps back into regular motion. The world is your oyster. So in case you've forgotten about it, slow motion selfies, or as Apple likes to call them, Slofies, are just a couple clicks away.
Very nice. Yes. A fun thing. They made a big hubbub about them when they released them, but easy one to forget about. So.
Yeah, I completely forgot about them.
Very nice. Well, before we get to our takes of the week, let's watch video number 3.
Hey, what's up, Dave? What's up, Nate? Everybody at Notnerd Podcast. I'm here on the beautiful streets of Sun River, Oregon. I just wanted to congratulate you guys on 5 years of episodes of the podcast. I've been on the show a couple times with some different tips and reviews and things. I just wanted to pitch real quick. I have an idea. I want to do like a man on the street type segment where, I go around and ask people about what they think of technology, and well, here's a perfect opportunity. Sir, what do you think of the new iPhone?
Don't bother me, man.
Well, I guess it can use a little work, but let me know if I can. When do I start? When's the paycheck start rolling in? Anyway, congratulations, guys, and keep it going for another 500 episodes or whatever. Bye.
Well, thank you, Dylan. Yes, I appreciate your efforts, and appreciate you sending in the video. Now, Nate has seen these videos. I'm seeing these for the first time. So
Yes.
I'm having a treat along with everyone else. This is fantastic. And Dylan, I like your man on the street idea. I like everything about it, except when you mentioned money, I have that same question. So whenever money starts rolling in, we'll be able to trickle it. It's called trickle down economics.
Yes.
And actually it works beautifully, as you've seen from the past several decades. Maybe. So when it comes here, it can go to you. But anytime you want to submit a man on the street, we will be happy to premiere it here on the podcast.
Yes. We love new segments. We've added many over the years. And so back to our takes. And I would like to remind people at this time that we are the most nonpartisan tech podcast on the internet. And so because of that, absolutely nothing happened on social media this week. And we can move on,
Nothing
right,
that I
Dave?
Yeah. Nothing I can think of happened. Nothing big anyway.
No. Well, we probably should mention that the President of the United States and many people tied to him have been removed from most social media platforms. There's a long list, and somebody's obviously, because somebody keeps a list of everything, all the different platforms that he has been removed from. It is... all kinds of stuff happened in the political world this week, and I was thinking about it and how to stay nonpartisan on the topic. And Dave, I will see if you agree with me that as a society, we need to find some way to be able to have civil discussion and try to not be so divisive or divisive, depending on which side of that debate you sit on. But just I've had some conversations with friend of the show, Mike, and he's pretty anti-social media. I know you have a lot of feelings on Facebook, but it has we are so divided. I just don't, and it's both sides. Usually when something's divided, there are two sides to it, and I don't usually get too serious on the podcast, but I just feel like we have to have a way to have conversations and to be able to communicate and not have to remove presidents from social media, so that we can continue trying to get better. I just don't see it happening.
Well, I think the underlying issue is social media, and there have been many conversations, books written, articles, videos made on how the internet has allowed individual groups of people to find each other and amplify their signal. So in days pre-social media, pre-internet, there would be groups of ideas around the country, and you might find someone that's like-minded, you might find someone who's not, but generally in regular day-to-day life, you would meet and greet people that look and sound like you, that believe pretty much the regular things that you believe. But when social media is introduced, we get all of these other points of view, and they get amplified, and you can quite easily say, I don't agree with that. I mean, I can agree with my neighbor who is a different political party from me, but what this person is saying, I don't agree with. And so I think it's just given us, we're going to have to learn as a society to see what are the fringe things and kind of allow them to be on the fringe and kind of ignore them, and unite over common causes like we used to do when we go to the grocery store or we visit our neighbors or we go to some social event. But I tell you, I think social media is part of the problem, and that's why the solution to some of this rhetoric has to be solved with social media or by the lack of social media. So I think pulling the plug on some of these things can actually be a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my opinion.
Yeah, and I think we just really exactly what you're saying with social media, you don't get context. Mm-hmm. It's like when you're writing an email or a text message or a tweet and you're using sarcasm, it just doesn't come through. And so many stories and opinions get amplified with no context to them. And
it causes people to get angry.
Yes. And people and I will remind people, we had an election back in 2016, and there was all of this investigation into foreign meddling into the election, and a lot of what they found was that these foreign adversaries, their goal was to divide our country, and they did a stinking good job.
Yeah, they did. And they use social media to do it.
Yeah, they use social media to get people fired up and tell untruths, to get people divided, take things out of context. And we've got to figure out a way to communicate again. And I think, social media and the media is a problem on all sides. It's there's a lot of people that want a lot of power and a lot of money, and I have to believe, I feel like I should be standing on a soapbox right now, but that we just got to, critical thinking. We got to get better, people. So yeah, I think, and everything seems, especially in this past 12 months, everything seems just to move so fast, and things that would have taken a long time before just happen really quickly. And so we're having to address this. We've obviously talked about problems with social media and the big social media companies, the media in the past, and it moves so fast that we are going to be dealing with it. So I don't believe this is a partisan issue. I think everybody needs to work to get better. And looking at it as a partisan issue or trying to blame the other side doesn't solve things.
No. And one of the great comments is you see a post on Facebook and it says something like, the things that you said that were counter to my beliefs, I totally believe those, and now I changed my point of view. Thank you for sharing your comments. Signed by nobody. Yes. Meaning nobody has ever been swayed by being yelled at and argued with. And I'm also reminded, I enjoy the show The Orville. It's kind of Seth MacFarlane's take on Star Trek. And I just watched this episode last night it was very Black Mirror-ish, where they visited a planet that was kind of 1990s, 2000s Earth-like planet. And everybody used the vote up and down buttons.
Oh, yeah, so I remember that episode.
If you cut somebody off or whatever, they would vote you down. And the public perception, by doing something completely innocent that you're unaware of, can turn the whole tide of everybody against you to where, you'll be lobotomized or whatever. And I kind of feel like that's what social media does. You put one thing out there like, oh, I'm for this candidate or I'm against it. And then pretty soon people just pile on and you've got 900 comments of like, I was just sharing an opinion. You don't have to live your life the way I live my life. But it seems like there's something about social media that causes people to lose their inhibitions with what they say and think about other people's posts.
Yes. So, pro tip, slow down and think a little more, people. Let's we got this. And to move on from social media into a much more enjoyable topic, Elon Musk becomes the world's richest person this week. He took over Jeff Bezos. So another problem solved. Elon Musk is really rich.
Yeah, well, the problem that was solved is Jeff Bezos is no longer the richest man in the world, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that he lost any money. I think Elon
he went
did
up.
More.
Tesla stock has been doing quite well, and I guess technically somebody has to be the richest person in the world. So what better person than Elon Musk, right?
Oh, wow. I tell you, this is crazy. I mean, from the list of billionaires, tech billionaires that we have to choose from, I kind of miss Bill Gates being the richest guy in the world.
Yes.
He seems very grounded.
Yes, most of the time. Oh, well, we've talked about this before, but I saw this story. I saw the pre-story and then the response this week. Google. So there's the new privacy labels that we've talked about in iOS, where in the App Store it'll kind of give you the nutrition label of what privacy they're looking for. Well, somebody noticed that since that went into effect, I believe in November, Google had not updated any of its apps. Shocking.
I'm so shocked.
Yes. So after they noticed that, a couple days later, I saw another story saying that they could add their privacy labels and update their apps as soon as next week. Which is about as loose of a commitment as you can get. As soon as next week,
well, and the person
mean in a decade.
Yeah, the person writing this, I mean, I can pull a date out of the year.
Yeah.
It's my opinion that they're going to update these apps sometime in April. I'm thinking mid-April.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
It's like a shot in the dark.
Yes. Well, you know what? The Not Nerd podcast could bring in our millionth dollar as soon as next week.
We could.
We could. I haven't bought any lottery tickets recently, and we'll see where Bitcoin goes, but we could do that. Our next take, this one I just wanted to let people know because I used this last night. We got in the mail, I think it was yesterday, January 9th, this letter that looked kind of weird. We opened it up and it says, here is your federal, I don't know how they phrased it, basically money from the government on a debit card. And I'm going, this sounds super sketchy because last time we got direct deposit. Why wouldn't they do direct deposit? So we're looking it up online. And then later last night, as I was putting the show notes together, I found that the IRS actually has a Get My Payment website where you can go and check on the status of your payments. And so it is updated with the current information. And sure enough, I gave them all of my personal information on this website and a blood sample. And it said, yes, we gave you a direct deposit in April and we mailed you a card in January. So I'm not sure why. Chelsea read something that said that on the web that was saying that it was easier for them to send out debit cards than make direct deposits, which I don't know. But if you're wondering if you're going to get money, where your money is, how it's coming, you can use this link in the show notes.
I just put in my information. I've done this before, and I got the big fat access denied.
Oh, yes. I got that the first time, and then I went back and put the information in again, and then it kept messing up my birth date format. So eventually I was able to get it, as you would expect from any government website.
Yes, I think it has to do with my Shields Up for this particular website.
With the Brave
if you
browser.
have content blockers and stuff turned on, you should probably turn those off or they're not going to let you in.
Yes. Well, let us get to our fourth video submission.
Congrats on 5 years on the Not Nerd podcast. Always love the content you guys put out every week.
Also,
you know, you guys are getting pretty big now. 5 years. It's a big milestone. Actually, I'm on my walk today, and this is what I see. Congrats, guys.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Wes. That was incredible. I see that you are continuing to hone your Final Cut Pro skills. Your editing is getting better and better. So thank you so much for the well wishes. We are happy to continue making content for at least 5 more episodes.
Yes. I like it. Our security and privacy story of the week is an article with the worst hacks of 2020, and just go read it. There's enough going on, but obviously the solar one wins was the big one, and then the Twitter hack, which I had forgotten all about when a bunch of famous people got hacked on Twitter, and some healthcare ones. But I don't see this getting better. It's a constant battle, but just a reminder to pay attention. Use a password manager, please, so that when these hacks do come, hopefully you'll be somewhat spared at some point.
Yeah, you can take a look at it. It seems like a never-ending flood of hacks and breaches and all kinds of stuff. So just be safe out there.
Yes. Well, our bonus odd take of the week this week is a website you found, Dave. When we're talking about being able to connect with people around the world, you can go to high5, the I's are ones, .me. It is a website, and you go there, and Dave, what do you get when you get there?
You get a hand that looks kind of like a little stop sign from like a sign or something like that. But it's asking you to high five someone. So you press the little icon on the screen, and here we go, waiting for someone to high five you back. I'm excited. What's it going to be? Who's going to do it? Who's going to high five me back? I'm feeling a little, leaving me hanging here.
Nobody said. Maybe I can go on the website and it'll let me high five you back. It'll say Tualatin, Oregon. I did test this out the other day, and I got a high five back from the UK. So I know it was working. Maybe too many people are high fiving now.
Yeah. You know what's probably happening is it's nighttime in the UK now, so it's probably only connected to the UK and the US. I don't know. Maybe nobody else in the world is playing it. So who knows? But yes, even though our demo here is not working great, I urge you at home to go to
I got a high five from the United States.
And
hey,
just as
we
I
just high fived
was
each
saying
other.
that, I got a Me too. I think
I'm
we
gonna
just
try it
did.
again.
Anyway, highfive.me with the ones in the place of the eyes will take you to this website.
Okay, Dave, you're leaving me hanging. Press it again.
As you can see, we're having
Press
such
it
a
again.
great
Let's
time
see.
here. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes. We are apparently this website has not gotten too popular because we are the only ones on here and we just high-fived each other twice. That is hilarious. Okay.
Let's go for a
here we
third.
go.
You're leaving
this,
me
this
hanging
makes
now.
her...
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, I love it.
We really need to get this out there. I'm glad we're talking about it on the show. We can get tens of new followers of this website.
That is great. Well, you know what we also always love to get out there is our picks of the week. And before you go, Dave, we have got a very special pick of the week in a video submission.
Oh.
Hello, Notnerd Podcast. This is Ol from Wolfcat, and I'm here to congratulate you on your 5th year anniversary. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, Ol has been forced to work from home for the last year. So I have a product recommendation for you. It's the Neck Stand laptop stand. It allows you to work at your laptop with good ergonomics and not hunched over like some sort of animal. Here's to another amazing 5 years. May they be as good as the last. And may you drink the blood of your enemies.
Provide a little explanation on that character if you could.
Yes. Well, that would be Mr. Mike Peterson. And, what was that, 10 years ago? No, I'm so bad with
Probably
time.
longer.
There was a band that was put together called Wolfcat, did a couple shows, and Mike was the lead singer, and but now he is relegated to working from home, and had that great tip on the laptop stand. I might pick one of those up. I need to try some different ergonomic stuff here at home, but I'll have a link to it in the show notes. So
you don't hunch over like animal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Mike. Dave, your pick of the week.
Well, mine's not quite as dramatic as Wolfcat's, but for Christmas, I put a couple things on my wish list. And one of the things that I put on my wish list and got was a Gosund smart power strip, work with Alexa, Google Home, smart plug mini Wi-Fi outlets, surge protector with 3 USB 3 charging port for cruise ship travel multi-plug extender, 10A. Meaning 10 amps.
Wow.
So what this is a power strip, but like many other Gosund products, it's a smart power strip that can work with the A-Lady. And what this means is with the 3 plugs and the 3 USB ports that are on this power strip, they can be assigned and controlled individually with your voice or with an app, and you can turn those on and off. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, for example, here in my luxurious studio at Notnerd West, I have 3 lights behind me, and they're shining on the back there. And I can change the colors and all this stuff with an app, but they can be turned on and off with the A-Lady just by asking her to turn them on and off. So I have them all set up as a group, and when I come into the studio, I say, yo, turn on studio, and boom, all the lights come on. And if I'm not quite liking it and I'm sitting here, I can say turn off light 1, 2, or 3. So it's just a convenience thing. And it works also with those USB ports. And so if you had some type of thing that, I don't know, maybe it's one of your desk fans or something runs off a USB power, you could turn it on and off with your voice so you don't have to run over and switch off the fan or whatever. So if you are in the market to buy a if you're in the market to buy a power strip, why not spend a few extra dollars and get one that's Alexa compatible? And this particular one, it was $20. So, I mean, you're going to be spending 10 or 15 on a power strip anyway.
Yeah. No, that is a great product. I do have a couple smart outlets, but to have the whole smart power strip makes a lot of sense. Well, my pick of the week this week is something that is an engineering marvel. This thing, I mean, technology has come so far, Dave, and there are so many things in our life that we use all the time that just have not changed forever and are just ripe for innovation. And this is something that I had thought probably 20 years ago. I had come up with an idea, but of course I never got around to it, and I could be a billionaire for improving this product, and I wanted to share it as my pick of the week. This technology is known as a Knork. Now, Dave, you now heard of
come again?
What are the spork? The spork that Taco Bell made famous, where you could get the spoon with the fork.
Spork.
Well, this one is not a spork. It is a Knork. So, if you can figure out, that would be combining a knife with a fork.
Now, hold on. Before you go any farther, this sounds dangerous.
Well,
isn't a fork something you put in your mouth?
Yes, and my original idea for a Knork was to have a serrated edge on the edge of the fork, so then you could cut and then just use your fork. That was my idea. Well, this one, no, they have engineered this, and it is more curved, so it's almost a Knork, all three together, because it would be better for scooping. But if you can look, let's see if my camera will focus in there. You can see it has got a very narrow edge that you can use for cutting, while also being a very functional fork. Now, the other night we did some curbside pickup of Red Robin, and I had my Royal Red Robin burger without a bun because I don't like those carbs. So I got out one of my Knorks and used it, and man, it really does make a difference. Personally, try to cut a lot of things with forks that I probably shouldn't. But so now that I've got the Knork, I can do it the right way and just have one utensil and not have to use a knife, Dave. Can you believe it?
I don't know what to say about this product. I personally have not had a lot of trouble cutting anything with my fork that should be cut with a fork. I'm thinking of a steak. You're going to want a knife for that. Are you claiming that this Knork can cut through
I have not
steak?
tried it on a steak yet, and I think a steak might be a bridge too far for this, but I will say that for things in between butter and a steak, this might work well for it. And they've got all kind. You can buy full sets of silverware with the Knorks in it. But yeah, I am actually pretty impressed, and I will be using this more. But not all technology has to come from Apple or Wise. This one comes from the Knork company.
No.
We were going to have one more pick, and we might add the video to the end. My daughter watches a lot of YouTube Kids and sees a lot of product reviews, and we made a video. Now, you would never be able to guess this from me on the podcast, but my daughter struggles with brevity. She she had an idea for something she wanted to share, and we ended up with a 4-minute and 30-second video that I did not get a chance to edit down. But I do want to say, Dave, we talked way back in January about Lego Star Wars, and then I mentioned later that my daughter and I had started playing it. Well, I can now officially announce, as of yesterday afternoon, we have 100% completed Lego Star Wars. Yes, the original, all
that's
three
impressive.
or all 6 movies. We got 100% on the game. We did the last couple of things that we needed to do. And so I had said after that we would get a new Lego game, maybe Harry Potter or something to try. Well, we're looking through the App Store, and the game that she picked, that she saw there was Brick Car Crash, I think. But it is a very simple game where you're a Lego car and you drive around a house or an office and crash things. So I will have you add that video to the end of this, but I figured 4.5 minutes. I will try to trim down some of she wanted to then show some of her other toys. But I do have this video from my daughter that I would like to share at this time.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Ira. Good job to Daddy and Dave. Subscribe to my videos. Bye.
That was so sweet. Thank you so much, Isla. It's always so good to see your smiling face. And if it has to be through video, it has to be through video. But thank you so much.
Yes. Yes, and she does like ending all of her videos with subscribe to my videos, which we'll use that as a reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The kids these days, I tell you.
That is hilarious.
Yes.
Here, send something to Grandma. Hi, Grandma, I love you. Subscribe to my videos.
Yes, and we've got it set up. Chelsea got set up with her at the beginning that we give her a point so she can start talking when it's ready to go, and then she gives a thumbs up when it's time to cut. So we've got a future YouTube star on our hands.
Why wait to the future? My wife watches all kinds of content. There's this one family that like adopted a bunch of kids, and it's terrible. It's just them and a phone.
Oh.
It's not a documentary or reality TV. It's just them recording themselves. So I have every bit of confidence that Isla and you and Chelsea could get something on tape that's much better produced and get a following on. So have her do toy reviews. That'd be excellent. Or iOS game reviews, her Lego reviews.
We have done a couple test runs, but it's not on her, it's on me for it to post it anyway. We might try it out. She does have a amazing personality, which she gets from her mother, and so maybe we'll get her going on the YouTube world. There's plenty of them out there, and yes, we watch a lot of very horrible family type vlogging stuff on YouTube Kids, which she enjoys. Somebody's watching it.
Well, if there's any money involved, we know that Dylan is in.
Yes.
So make sure if there's any revenue, you could get him in to help.
That's true. That is true. Good point. We've got Wes, who can do amazing things with video editing. He can add in some 3D animations. Yeah. So I'm putting all my money on Isla. Yes, our episode wouldn't be complete without our Ramazon purchase of the week. And this week, I was looking through our reports, I am blown away. I guess I shouldn't be, because we have amazing picks and amazing things we talk about on our episodes. But I would say probably half of our report is stuff we have talked about previously on the podcast. So it is helping our new pick store that we're still working on getting everything set there and get everything updated. But the Apple TV remote covers, some of the different, some memory cards that we've talked about recently, all this different stuff. But the one that I picked this week, I am befuddled, Dave. This is the Secure Fake Succulent Plant set of 4 artificial succulents, plant plastic mini potted decor artificial succulents for desk, office, bathroom, bedroom, bookshelf, home. Now, Dave, I don't know how familiar you are with succulents, but the whole reason for their popularity is that they are the lowest maintenance plant that you could possibly buy. So why you would need a fake one, I'm really hoping to hear from the person that purchased this, because succulents are pretty much fake already. You water them like once. Was this you, Dave? Did you buy this?
No. I was going to say, even though they're low maintenance, they're still maintenance. So for the person who just wants a decoration and never bother with it again, I can see him getting these. And have you noticed that probably in the past 10 years, artificial plants look so realistic now?
Yes, they have gotten.
They're very realistic looking.
Yes, it is another engineering marvel how good they have gotten with fake plants these days. So I figured, Dave, along with you guessing this week, as people are watching the video, we could also have them guess and see what they think. So we'll pause here for just a moment and put the picture up on the screen for everybody so that you can take a look and see. And Dave, I will send you a picture as well, and we will see if that comes over to you.
Oh, okay. Well, so there are 4, correct me if I'm wrong. There are 4 plants.
A variety.
And is the container porcelain or plastic?
Ooh, that is a good question. Asking the tough questions today. You don't want to be too far off on this one. So let me take a look.
I don't want to be off.
They do let you know in the description that these fake plants do not need to be watered. So.
Oh, that's good to know. Well, I think I'm going to make a guess, and this is going to be terrible. I think I'm going to be a bit under on these, but I'm going to say $15.99.
Okay, Dave. Well, you said $15.99. You're pretty dang close. These actually come in right now at $13.99. So, listeners at home,
my first guess was going to be $12.99.
Yes.
So,
yes,
wow.
And it looks like via Camel, they have been at $12, and they just jumped up to $13.99. So, did you do better than Dave at home? Do you need to replace Dave on the podcast, or at least for the Ramazan segment? Let us know on that.
Please call for help.
Yes,
call for help.
Yes. Well, we have rambled long enough. We have struggled through video difficulties. Dave now has a ginormous task ahead of him at producing a great product for YouTube for you to watch. Thank you to everybody for helping support us and listening for 5 stinking years. Who would have thought that we would go this long? But there will always be more technology to talk about. And if all the technology goes away, well, then maybe we'll pivot to solar cooking podcast.
We'll get into politics.
Oh, yes. So please, technology, do not go away so that we can keep talking about that. Thank you again for listening. Thank you for everybody that sent in videos. That was great. It warms our heart to know there are actually people out there listening and paying attention. So now you can get out there and tech better.
Hi, this is my game and it's called Car Crash.
Car crash?
I mean like car crash.
Do you want to try again?
And now I can. Now I'm playing this. And now I'm playing it. How do I... Hey, what do I do now?
Hit the green at the bottom.
Okay. I'm picking the house. This is how you play. Okay. Okay. I'm done, Daddy. Now I'm gonna do some other cool thing. I'm just gonna do some other things. Now we are gonna get to... I'm gonna get something real quick and I can show you. That was 1 second. Okay, this is my unicorn. And this is, it lights up. Where's the lighting up color? Oh. Hey, can you turn off the lights and they can see a little better? This is how it looks. Do you like it? Okay? And the 4. And we can also do on our hands. And her is pretty cool. That's all about her. Oh yeah. And this is if you want to stop. Stop. Yes. And the next one is slow. And the next one is fast. Like this. Wow. I can't. And this one. There's Hardy. And I like to and I'm pretending to be a guinea pig till I get one for wheels. And where's that thing? Oh yeah, I left it upstairs. Sorry me. This is my Butterbean. Her has holes on the bottom feet, and her's a really cool girl. You should watch the videos of these. They are so cool. Here's her back with the wings. That's sprinkled on her wings. Subscribe to my video. Bye. I love Daddy and Mommy.